My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Aries. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For this evening, I'm going to be doing your general love reading, your 5 card spread. But before I do that, I want to offer these 24 red roses as a token of my love and appreciation for your love, support, and devotion towards my channel. And thank you so much for joining me in this beautiful evening as well. So, this 5 card love reading includes where the first card represents you, the second, the other person, the third, the relationship, fourth, the past, fifth, the future. Then I'm going to draw a vampire oracle for you, and then a favole and 1 card from the French tarot deck of Le Tarot Interdit. And my goodness, you get Emperor. Mwah! I love this. Why? Because Aries energy. It's like this is pretty much just kind of just calling out to all Aries, maybe have some Aries elements and stuff like that. But what this card is mostly talking about is how you're the one who's in total control of the whole situation. Now you could be, like the head of a household, maybe you're a single person or what have you, but you are the one, whether you're in a single or in a current long-term relationship, maybe you're still, in the deciding phase where you pretty much just want to choose who you want to be with, but you are the one that pretty much has 100% control of the whole situation and all the outcomes possible. The thing is, and I find this a very, very beautiful card for my beautiful Aries, because the thing is to be the one who actually, takes control in charge of the situation, to make sure that it'll guarantee. I mean, you don't want to come across as a bit too authoritative, when it comes to like the authoritative father figure. But the thing is what I have noticed about fire signs, whether it's even Leo or Sagittarius as well, is that fire signs, they like to be the ones who actually call the shots. But of course there's not always going to be anything wrong with that. Au contraire, in the sense where you pretty much just think, it's like sometimes it's actually good to also, just remind other people or tell other people or what have you, and to say, I prefer my own sense of independence. I love being single. I love being with my, fledglings. If you're single, parent, or even if you just enjoy your pets or even your friends or what have you, is that, to be able to have that kind of confidence to actually say, this is how I want to live. This is my life, my choice, and not for other people to actually have, they're all negative feedback to think, it's like, well, what is wrong with people, who are alone and stuff like that? I mean, the thing is, everybody has their own life and their own choices to make. What's wrong with that, right? So that's why I do love how you came up for your card. Because the other person of who is or could be, I mean, like I just mentioned, even for the single ones, is that, you could also be in a deciding phase where you could pretty much be, the one in control of saying, okay, I want to be with this person or I want to be with that person, because you come across as sort of this magnetic force, this energy, this vibe, this what have you, it's like just to draw people closer to you and stuff like that. But the other person could also be in the choosy phase, him or herself. In other ways, it could be Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo energy, but this person could also just be also, also in the process of thinking, well, there is this person and there's Aries. So I just think, it's like we'll see what happens with the other person, of course. But it could also be how the other person is also managing his or her own affairs as well. But yet, it's like maybe you want to be with that person because maybe you feel like that this person has, everything under control. And then you just think, okay, it's like, I mean, of course, to each their own and stuff, right? But let's see what the relationship is about. 6 of Wands, Celebration City. Wow. And again, this pretty much is focused for any person, single, relationship, what have you, and stuff like that. So, no judgment ever coming from me in any way based off of whatever, because every person is unique, different, has their own path and course and goals and stuff like that in his or her own life and stuff like that. But either way, there's something definitely worth celebrating. Now, you can be in a single position and celebrate every day, and you could always be in a beautiful courtship or in a long-term relationship and still be celebrating either way. So I feel like I'm just kind of repeating myself, and sometimes I like to kind of keep my readings a bit on the shorter side to avoid, over-explaining and repetitive phrases and stuff like that. But I feel like that there's something worth celebrating. Now, it could be that this person is also kind of, maybe organizing an upcoming engagement or wedding as well, because that's why that could also be something worth celebrating, or this could also be an anniversary of some kind, or what have you in other ways. But there's definitely so much beautiful energy coming from today's reading. My goodness, speaking of another past Aries, yes, big changes that took place. I mean, I'm just so blessed to be giving my beautiful Aries such a beautiful, because the thing is a Tower is considered a silver lining positive card. Why? Because the thing is big changes, doesn't always mean it's going to be a disastrous effect. Yes, the way how this tower, this home is set on fire and stuff like that, it just shows, yeah, it looks kind of dangerous, doesn't it? But with any kind of change, you always have to kind of just have so many backup plans. Always make sure you know that it is the right way to go about something. Because the thing is, let's say that this was a divorce. It looked like, it looked, well, beautiful in current times regarding the celebratory occasion, a breakup as well. But this could have also been like maybe a love offering, courtship, or engagement for that matter, and stuff like that. And that is what could have also caused this big change. And maybe that's why this person is kind of still also in the phase of having to make this big decision, because maybe, it's like if you came across as too strong, and I know, of course, I would never want to say anything negative about Aries because I'm an Aries myself. But if you came across as a bit too strong and the authoritative, and maybe the other person feels a little bit too timid in the sense where this person just thinks, well, it's like I love Aries, or, I was attracted to it, but all of this real strong force, maybe this person just can't handle it and stuff like that either. Though I think in the future you will have a beautiful Nine of Cups, sense of fulfillment either way. So I feel like that, if the person, regarding the Two of Pentacles seems a bit too hesitant, closed off, distant, I mean, any reason would probably make sense, especially when it comes from a Tower incident. The thing is well, I would always just double check with this person to say, okay, well, you did accept my proposal, or I did accept, but why are you suddenly acting cold, distant, just kind of keeping me, a bit at arm's length and stuff like that? Because the thing is if this person is still in the process of choosing after, it's like there's something definitely worth celebrating. You could end up maybe still fulfilled in a single position. Maybe, it's like, because the thing is, it's like, there's a saying, I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly because it's not something that I'm used to in modern times. But but maybe it's not even a saying, but it's more or less a kind of common sense kind of concept idea. Is it's better, to lean towards, the angle, the angle of cautiousness rather than just immediately hoping for the best. Because the thing is, it's like an ounce of, well, it's not really that, but in other ways, how I would best describe it is it's better to kind of take your time to make sure that all the green check marks are checked off, instead of just thinking, oh, okay, it's like, yeah, this person, quickly said, yes, I'll marry you, for example. And then later on, this person immediately has, second thoughts and think, yeah, actually, I don't know if I want to proceed with that. So, but that's why, either way, there's going to be some form of fulfillment. So maybe if you guys have an open communication, it could lead towards this. But if this person suddenly just seems all like, no, I just can't deal with it, I still see a single fulfilled feeling, for any Aries placements out in this world and stuff like that. And you will probably be celebrating, something either way. So I feel like that this, love reading can go either way, but it does look like you will still get a happy ending. Because Oracle says the monster within, internal struggle, personal challenges, and wanting to improve. Now, if you're in a single position, this card, I think, focuses more on the single individuals that's, either enjoy their independence, maybe still haven't found the Mr. or Mrs. Right in your life and stuff like that. But I personally, just think that it's always good to kind of, if there's any form of hesitancy, it's always good to kind of listen to that rather than just kind of proceed with something and then just think, oh man, that was actually the worst idea ever, right? Because the thing is, if you realize, it's like even, what my human even told me, it's like, he was walking down this one street once, he was standing at the stoplight, and so the light turned green for him, so he started to walk, but then there was this car that raced right in front of him. It's like these people, they're just very reckless, right? And he said, if I would have actually, proceeded just walking very fast, I would have probably been hit by that car, right? So now the guy is mostly very cautious when it comes to when he even crosses the road, and there's just a green light, or there's usually actually no form of vehicles or anything else, coming at him. He still stops and looks before he proceeds. And that's kind of, the thing what I would do in a situation like this is stop before you proceed to make sure that everything is going to work out for you in the end, right? Instead of just thinking, oh yeah, it's like, yeah, if he, yeah, we have a metaphorical green light, but let's just go and proceed, and let's pay well, for this big wedding or for any kind of wedding and stuff like that. It's like, but I hope you sort of get the gist. So Favole wants to continue with, okay, this one decided to come out. Five of Butterflies, also known as Five of Swords. So I see some kind of battle to be won. Now, I don't know exactly what kind of battle, unless it's a divorce or breakup. Because, yeah, it's like, because, there was that tower moment that did take place in your past. And if you want to have, like, if you're having internal struggles or personal challenges, those are also personal battles that you could also be overcoming, whenever or however it's going to be taking place and stuff like that as well. So I feel like that if you're kind of having personal internal challenges, you're not quite ready to even, settle down with other people or even just be around, I would do whatever it takes and do a lot of self-improvement, maybe a lot of self-healing, self-care, what have you, in other ways. And then eventually, you'll win some form of battle and stuff like that. Because the Tarot Interdit Vampirium wants to finish with Sept d'Épée, Seven of Swords. So what this is all about is, it's like on one side, the positive side is having an excellent plan. The negative side is dealing with a con artist or deceptive individual. Okay. Yeah. The thing is, it's like, I'm not per se getting anything regarding deception. I just see you actually just, overcoming, battles and actually creating a really good sense of, fulfillment in the future, stuff like that. Because the thing is, it's like this could have already been challenges from the past as well regarding this tower incident. I mean, I can sort of actually feel, myself in today's reading or in this evening's or, what have you, and stuff like that in this reading. Because, I also, suffer, with, problems with, my current, position. But of course, you can't compare a vampire to a human. But either way, I personally also feel like I'm in this reading myself because I love being in control of this situation. I've been celebrating a lot of joy from, my, doing my readings. I have a sense of fulfillment, and I also am the monster within personally as well. And I'm also, dealing still every evening with my own internal struggles, personal challenges, and stuff like that as well. So I'm not really seeing anything regarding anything negative regarding the Seven of Swords for any Aries out in this world. I do see you, more or less just planning, for the future and stuff like that, especially, that you're going to be winning battles as well. So, but anyway, I'm going to have to leave it at this for now. If this reading resonated for any Aries placements out in this world, please feel free to join and subscribe to my channel. I want to thank you all so very much for joining me. I love you guys incredibly. Next week, I'm going to be doing that Macabre Tarot, so I'm going to help you guys overcome some fears and stuff like that, so please feel free to stay tuned for that. But other than that, I love you guys incredibly. As per usual, take excellent good care of yourselves.